and welcome to Get the Juice with Moose. I'm your host, Moose, and with our guest star today, IrritableIndian! Hello!
Hello, how's it going, Moose? Thank you so much for having me on this.
You are more than welcome. It's absolutely my pleasure. So if you're unsure or unfamiliar with this, basically I have you here, we do a little chitty chatty, and I get all the juice of all the information about you that you didn't know that you needed to know.
I love it. That's amazing.
Perfect. In that case then, if you would just be so kind, if you could just please introduce yourself.
Sure, yeah. So, my name's Addy, aka IrritableIndian, aka Irri, aka I go by many names, literally. You can call me whatever. I've been a streamer, fellow streamer, just like Moose, minus the VTubing part, of course. As if any of you guys watching on my stream, as you can see, I have with my real countenance, I am not a VTuber in the flesh, right, if you will. I've been streaming 5 years, about to be 6, and this is like my favorite thing in the world. And I play a bunch of different games. Just this past night, in fact, I was streaming before getting onto the podcast here with Moose. And I was actually playing, I think it's your favorite game, right? Final Fantasy VI?
One of, absolutely.
Or one of your favorite games? Yeah, and I'm working through it for the first time. It's been really fun. So like that, I play a bunch of different games. Mostly a lot of single player, story-driven ones. Those are usually my cup of tea. But lately I've been going into more multiplayer things with my community. That's been fun. Used to also do a YouTube channel where I used to review them, but life do be lifing and getting in the way. So now I mostly just do everything live, have a good time on stream, have a good time on air, and yeah, that kind of thing. I'm all about the playing of games and recording / streaming and saving them to look back on the memories of the thing I have the most fun doing here in the world, which is, yeah, playing video games. And sharing them with awesome people who I've had the pleasure of meeting along the way. Such as yourself.
Oh, it's sweet of you to say. No, I love that. I love that you do it for the fun. You know that.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was to like say that this is like, if I was to ask you to introduce yourself again, but this time using only 3 emojis, what emojis would you put yourself as if you had to summarize all of that into 3 emojis?
Oh my god. Put me on the spot here. That's a great question. I like that a lot. Damn. Okay, using this is gonna sound a bit self-indulgent, but using my own Twitch emotes, if that counts. Let's go with Irri Hyper. The me being hyper emoji and crazy and scuffed all the time. Airy so me screaming all the time. And maybe Airy Link, which is my dog, who is a pug who I named after Link because I love The Legend of Zelda, with his derpy tongue out and his little Hylian, the words elude me at the moment. A Hylian hoodie, the green cap that Link has on his noggin, because yeah, as of late, I kind of have not had a conception of a sleep schedule, and therefore my brain is just all over the place at the moment. It's been like that the past couple days. So I think those emotes would best describe me in terms of just me as of late.
Hyper, screaming, also dogs. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, as we're at the juicing chamber, what is your favorite beverage? And is it coffee because you don't sleep at the moment?
Yeah, that is some amazing detective work right there. You are absolutely correct. It is indeed. I'm not proud to say that it's coffee, but I would say that it's coffee. Yeah, because I can't exist without it. I'm ashamed to say.
No,
and also it doesn't help that I'm from Canada, where we literally have like the sweetest things known to mankind. We put corn syrup and sugar in frickin' everything, including our coffee, and if you're in Canada, you'll know there are Tim Hortons, and Tim Hortons has the best tasting coffees in the form of these things called ice caps, and you'll catch me drinking them from time to time on my streams. And I'm a little too addicted. I've been addicted for like as long as I can remember.
No, you know what? It is a slippery slope. Once you first get the taste of that magical wake up bean juice, you're like, oh my god, I love being awake. Give me more.
It do be like that.
No, I can relate. I used to like never drink coffee, and then like one day I was just like so dead tired. I was like, okay, right, how can I not? And then I drank it, and I was like, oh, it tastes like butt, but it's so good.
Literally, and honestly, I was one of those people who, for the longest time, was really picky when it came to coffee, if you can believe it. Well, I mean, I already set the scene with Tim Hortons ice caps. If you grow up in Canada, you start getting really picky over how your coffee tastes because everything is so sweet. So you're like, I only want sweet tasting coffee. I can't have anything else. So for the longest time, it only had to be that. But as of late, because this past summer, or the last summer rather, I tried adopting healthier habits. I went down the whole black coffee rabbit hole and tried to force myself to acquire a taste for it, even though, as you said, it tastes like complete butt. And once again, I'm ashamed to say that I fueled my caffeine addiction or coffee addiction even further because I unfortunately ended up getting used to the taste of it.
Oh.
I mean, I've tried to like get off caffeine for a long time in general, and I successfully managed to do it once, and I feel like it really helped with my anxiety and all of that kind of stuff. There are a weird number of benefits that you definitely start experiencing once you get off of it and once you start weaning off at the very least. But but then there's a point where you're like, okay, I feel like a zombie today. I need a little bit of something, and just a little bit pushes you back over the edge, and you're just down that downward coffee spiral all over again. And that was basically me.
Yeah, it's such an easy slippery slope. Like, I'm like, yeah, I don't need this. I need it. I need it.
It absolutely is. And like I said, it doesn't help that black coffee didn't make me go, oh, I'll have it every once in a while. It made me go, okay, I'll have this and ice caps from time to time. So yeah, it's
essentially
it's a never-ending battle.
If we cut you, you bleed coffee. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, like if I were a Final Fantasy protagonist, like Final Fantasy characters have their fair share of troubling, traumatic backstories. Mine would definitely have to do with coffee in some way or another.
The crippling caffeine addict.
Actually, my arc would be about overcoming my caffeine addiction and then saving the world or whatever Final Fantasy protagonists get up to in the end.
That's how the Dragoons are really powered. All that jumping is just sheer coffee.
You might actually be onto something, straight up.
So there you go. If you were a Final Fantasy protag, your class would probably be Dragoon. Just like, whee!
I think so. Or a little weird modification subversion thingy of like a Dragoon, because FF6 loves to do that, and I really love that about FF6.
It's good. I
Dragoons
love FF6.
who drink coffee, whatever you would call that.
Just rocket fuel Dragoons.
Literally.
So, what's the most fun or ridiculous fact that you know off by heart, or just a random little factoid that you can spout out? Do you have any of those?
Ooh, I know so many of these. The thing I hate about my brain is that I'm so bad at like recalling anything off the top of my head. Oh wait, I know one. Okay. Any number beneath 1,000 doesn't have the letter A in it. Fun random fact that might blow your mind, or may not.
You know what?
It definitely did blow mind.
I've not heard that before, so that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, I thankfully heard it not long ago, so I was able to recall it for you. Otherwise, I would just be sitting here going, because I do a lot and make a fool of myself a whole bunch.
I know.
So thankfully, everything came together. Everything happens for a reason.
Yes. that fact was there specifically for when a random British lady asks you, hey,
Yes.
produce a fact for me.
Exactly. It was a canon event that all led to this moment. It was for this moment.
It was there. You were prepared.
Literally.
Well, I wonder then if perhaps this would classify as the answer to the next one, or maybe not. I'm not sure. But the next question is: what's your most useless or bizarre talent or skill that you have? Like, can you wiggle your ears, or flip your eyelids inside out, or roll your tongue? Any? Do you have any bizarre or useless?
I was gonna
talents?
say, yeah, I can actually roll my tongue. I can do the. Now I don't know if that's referring to like the r sound that you can make. I can roll my r. Okay, that's called rolling r's. So I can do that. On top of that, I can do like the. Well, you can't see it right now, but on my stream, I'm like, you can do the thing with your tongue that not everyone can do, or that you learn about in like grade 9 biology or whatever.
Yeah. Like make a little circle. I can do that one too. I'm
Fold
also
up
doing
your
that. Not
tongue a
that you
little
can
bit.
see me doing that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely, that would be my talent. That is a useless talent, but as a talent nonetheless, I suppose.
I mean, it would be a talent if you were desperately needing to roll your tongue up and use it as a straw, I suppose. I don't know when that would ever be a situation that would occur, but I'm sure there's probably some evolutionary purpose to like why that is a thing that it would be good.
You know what? I'm gonna roll with that. I like that. That makes me feel better about myself a little bit.
Emergency straw capabilities. That's what you've got.
Yeah.
It's like a superpower.
I don't know how it's gonna save my life, but I like to believe that it can.
Yeah, just
somehow.
just one
And
day.
I have this ability, and not everyone has it, and that makes me cool. Because humans are meant to survive, right? And that gives me an extra way of surviving, whatever that way may be.
Do you have any unusual personal preferences? Like, is cereal better without milk? Socks should be odd. Only sleep with the covers off. You know, do you have anything that would be a weird hill to die on, but it's something that you would prefer?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, honestly. I feel like I'm just like a cookie cutter human being for the most part when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I'm just sitting here on the sideline seeing the whole like cereal like with milk, or like, or sorry, like milk before cereal, like milk after cereal thing, or people talking about the whole pineapple on pizzas thing, and I'm just like, dude, you need to chill. It just works fine either way. It's all gonna go in your mouth anyway. Like,
True that.
you know? But the pineapple on pizza thing, I can definitely see that being a little more contentious. But still, I like my pizzas both without and with pineapple, you know?
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Pizza
I
good,
don't know.
pineapple good. Put it together good.
Yeah.
I'll say. So you don't have anything that's like fundamentally people would be like, that's weird, but okay. Like, do you bite Kit Kats rather than snap them?
Okay, this is gonna sound. Oh my god, I hate that. I'm sure I have something, and I'm so sorry in advance because I'm sure I have something that would be a nice little fun answer. Well, of course, my brain being the way that it is goes to something sort of deep-ish, and that's because of, like, that's the thing I kind of talked about most recently with a friend. We were just having one of those like long, like just rabbit hole type discussions that you could probably relate to just having with your friend from time to time, or, you know, partner or whatever. You're just kind of just like in the mood for a really deep conversation, and before you know it, it's been like an hour or 2 hours. We were just like talking, and like the conversation went off to me eventually saying, well, you're talking about what the ideal friend or partner or whatever would be. And most people, including my friend who I was talking to about this, were like, well, you would want someone who's like the complete opposite of you, because that way they would challenge you. And I'm like, dude, you wouldn't just want a complete carbon copy clone of yourself? Like, how cool would that be? Like, just someone who's exactly like you. That would be like the most awesome friend ever. So I guess maybe that, like, I don't know.
I see. I don't
I
know
would
if that's a
love to-
hot take or not, really, because like honestly,
I feel like it is. Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm there with you with the hot takes. Like, as a friend, I feel like I'd want to have someone that shares all of the same bizarreness as me, so we could just like vibe in
Right?
the weirdest way.
For me, it's mainly because it's like there's so many things I'm into that like a lot of my friends aren't into, like
Mm.
games and stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, imagine if I just had like a clone of me that I could just geek out over this thing for like 24 hours without sleep. Like that would be the coolest thing ever.
Right? Yeah, no, I fully agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. I'll die on that hill too. We're good.
Weird answer, I know. But like, that's the best I can come up with.
No, I like that, and you know, I'm right there. I'll climb the hill with you. That's fine. It can be a joint hill.
Hell yeah.
All right, if you could have an unlimited supply of anything that's not money, what would you have?
Unlimited supply of anything that is not money.
Yeah, like you could just like no matter what, you can just get another one, get another bunch, whatever it is, it's just there forever, infinitely.
Could it be like different variations of the same object?
Such as.
Like, let's say if they're figures or something like that, because that would probably be my answer. I've just recently been really enjoying these past couple of years whenever it's feasible for me. Just like buying little tiny figurines of video game characters and stuff and putting them in my background for my streams. I just love doing that whenever I can. And just like collecting, because I never really did that growing up. And now I've just recently started getting into it, like this past half a decade after getting into like streaming and everything. Just like collecting video game, I guess you call it like memorabilia, like just little figures and stuff like that. It's fun. It's nice. I would love an unlimited supply of just video game things. That would just be that would be so sick.
That you just have like just an infinite video game room where you've got everything ever.
Yes.
And
I don't know if you're familiar, like that the YouTuber Moist Critical. He recently uploaded a video doing like a room tour, and I'm like, oh my God, that's like the dream room for me. Like the stuff he has in the background of, he just has all this like expensive video game merch and all these like Prime Studio like huge video game statues and stuff of like Elden Ring characters and what have you, all these different franchises, and I'm like, that is so cool. Like I was never even really interested in that stuff growing up, but it's funny how just, and I've like my gaming habits really haven't changed all that much, the kinds of games I'm into and what games I play and stuff, but it's funny how just streaming on its own, like starting to stream, ever since I did that, I've been just more into collecting things now. So I don't know, it's been really fun. I would probably want like an unlimited supply of all that in an ideal world.
Yeah, no, I can fully appreciate that. You say about all the ones you've been collecting. Do you have a favorite one?
Definitely Cloud. Yeah, on the bike from FF7 Remake Collector's Edition.
The one behind you.
The one behind me. Yeah. That's probably my favorite and will always be my favorite. Another favorite of mine, but the reason why it isn't probably top 3 things I have in my room is the little Death Stranding baby that's also behind me, because the thought of someone entering my room not being familiar with Death Stranding and just seeing a fetus sitting on a chair, that kind of scares me. I'm not okay with that thought.
Understandable.
I have a fun story about that, by the way. So I've been having a roofing issue in my house, and there is a very concerning looking spot above me that I've showed on my stream before that might get even worse, and I might actually have water start dripping into my room. And I had a roofer finally show up yesterday, and the first thing he noticed was the Death Stranding baby. I was like, oh God, this is not going in a good direction. And the next thing he says is, I freaking love Death Stranding. It is one of my favorite games. And I'm like, okay. We're considering different roofers. I'm like, we're going with you, man. Like that. Yeah. You're the dude for the job.
We can be friends. We're good.
Yes, exactly.
No, I love that when someone like sees some of your quirky stuff and like vibes with it rather than like, wow, you freak. You know?
Yeah. I'm dreading the day that happens. I please don't happen. That's all I have to say about that.
No, I have quite a figurine collection as well. And I only have
That's
one.
awesome.
I only have one spicy figure, and she has like two versions. She has the non-spice and the very spice. And Mr. Moose occasionally just rotates it into very spice mode, and I'm like, you know what? If anybody ever walked into this room, they would just see boobies.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So he's like, yeah, it's just funny to see your reaction. I'm like, okay.
And you like you make some of those too, right? Like your figures and stuff. I've like you do some arts and crafts stuff from time to time, right? Like I've stopped by some of your streams and I've seen you do a lot of that. It's really cool.
Yeah. I paint stuff. I build stuff.
Yeah, paintings.
Painting and crafting. I've got a bunch of stuff that I've built as well. I'd like to get my hands dirty, you know.
Hell yeah. I remember I stopped by your stream and you were, I think, painting Link or Zelda. That was really cool.
Yeah, I was painting Link one time, and I think that's yeah. I've painted Link before. He's just chilling over there. I like to paint stuff. It's nice like chill. Do you ever do any painting? Do any of those?
I went through a bit of a phase when I was super young, but then I don't know. I wish I continued more arts and crafty stuff over the years, but I kind of just didn't. And like I think like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, one summer when I had a lot more time to like work on like just fun side hobby stuff, I decided to like take up something artsy and crafty again. And I don't know why, but I got really obsessed with mandalas. I don't know if you know what those are, like those like the Tibetan and like Indian like those circles of symbols, like like they're, I don't know how you would describe them really, but they're these art pieces, art things that like these symbols that you can make in all these like different unique styles. And I was kind of obsessed with just drawing those different patterns in like a little sketchbook and coloring them in and stuff. I just like really like coloring things, I guess. Like my mom had like or she still has like this coloring book for like de-stressing, like one of those things. And from time to time I'll just find myself like, I can't remember the last time I did this, but if it's just lying there, I'll like pick up a coloring pencil or something like that and just start filling in the gaps. And I don't know, I just really like doing that. But beyond that, I do wish from time to time that I had gone into artsy and crafty stuff more when I was younger. Because it just, oh man, it looks so cool, like the stuff people can do. And it kind of makes you go, oh man, I wish I could do that too. Like I can imagine like the satisfaction you get from like creating something so amazing. And like, yeah, like I kind of, a part of me wishes I pursued that more.
I mean, you
especially
still
with
could.
painting and I do. So and that's what a lot of people tell me too. Like with a lot of the things I talk about is, yeah, you still got time. I'm young. I'm 25. I got a lot of time.
You got
But
plenty.
I
You got
do.
buckets of time.
I'm talking like I'm a fossil here. I can acknowledge that for sure.
You just digging your grave. I wish I had done some more when I was a whippersnapper.
I'm talking here like 25 is a new 70 or something. Which, I mean, for a lot of people in this day and age, in this economy, as people say, like, yeah, I can definitely understand and empathize. But no, I do got me a lot of time.
Yeah, and like there's loads of different sorts of artsy things you could get into, you know. So there's a whole host of things that you could try out.
True.
I'm a big fan of try everything, like.
Yeah.
What's the jack of all trades, master of none.
I love that. Yeah, and the older I get, the more I kind of like adhere to that. Like it's not about being the best at something, just like be the best you can be at something, right? Be like get as good as you need to get in order to be happy with what you're doing.
Exactly.
And do that with as many different things as you can. You know, as many different things that interest you.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, don't compare yourself to others, because comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah, very
just
important.
have a good time doing what you're doing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm speaking of like enjoying what you're doing and going back to games. If you could swap lives with one game character for a week, who would it be and why? Like a week in real life time. not like
Oh.
a week in game time, which could be like whoop, 20 seconds in some games.
That is a very good question. I'm gonna go based off of my top 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, I'll tell you what I won't do. I'm definitely not gonna do Bloodborne. I don't want to be a Bloodborne hunter going through a horribly diseased apocalyptic city hellscape, fighting off these gothic horrors. No, thank you.
Mm-mm.
Death Stranding. The only reason I would want to be the main character of that game who delivers packages across a barren wasteland where people live underground and delivers packages between them is because on some level I love walking outdoors, and it's relaxing, even though there are ghosts trying to kill you in that game and literally cause these like huge like explosions that create craters across the planet when they come into contact with the matter of the living. It's a therapeutic game, and it's just relaxing to walk across grass and touch a lot of grass. Touching grass is important.
It is important.
Yes. But because they're ghosts trying to kill me, probably not. Then there's Final Fantasy VII, which is my favorite game ever. And there's Cloud, who is my favorite character ever. And Cloud gets with Tifa, who for obvious reasons,
Best
I would
girl.
probably want to be Cloud for a week.
Oh, heck yeah. Tifa, hands down,
I'm
best
just
girl.
So let's go with Cloud.
Yeah. No, yeah, fair. I mean, the early game Cloud before, the full-on has difficulties Cloud.
Yeah, sure. Let's not go with dying of a terminal illness Cloud from Advent Children. That wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, no.
Plagued with guilt, dying of a terminal illness Cloud is not the Cloud I want to be.
Yeah, just early game Cloud with Tifa. I'll take that too.
I think I'd vibe with that.
Yeah. that solid answer. I love it. All right.
Or Zach. Zach works too. Yeah.
Well,
Kill in my chat is like, I'd be Zach. Yeah, Zach or Cloud. One of those two.
I don't know. Zach
two
and Aerith,
coolest
though.
dudes.
I never really liked Aerith.
Big Sag.
I like her more in the remake than I did in the original, but I never really vibed with Aerith in the original. Like, the OG, I was
That's
just
fair.
like, this little pink woman, she needs to go away. And then she did. And I was happy.
Oh my god, that is so based. I love that.
Yeah, I was Tifa for life. I saw her and I was like, oh, look at her. And she punches stuff. Sign me up.
What's there not to love?
Exactly. All right, pivoting a little bit here. Questions are going to get a little bit more strange, I suppose. But if you had to smell like one thing for the rest of your life, what would you pick?
This is surprisingly easy to answer for some reason. Probably Play-Doh.
Play-Doh?
Because it's just so nostalgic. Oh my gosh. I don't know. When I think of nostalgia, I love nostalgia. It's such a bittersweet thing, but ultimately I love it. It's like the closest we can get to a time machine. Like when I think of nostalgic memories and like my formative years and like growing up in the 2000s and that kind of thing, or even looking at pictures of the 90s that make you feel nostalgic for a time you never existed in, which is a phenomenon I'm sure we can all kind of relate to on some level. My immediate thought goes to like smells, and I think of Play-Doh. Like probably because I loved Play-Doh growing up when I was like really, really young. This is gonna sound like really weird too, because I can recognize like, and it's not that Play-Doh smells bad. It's not like a rose or something like that, or like a really fragrant, like a fragrant scent. It's just, I don't know. It's nostalgia embodied. Like it's the embodiment of nostalgia though to me. So probably that, because it reminds me of good times and times of innocence, of an innocent childhood, if you will.
Oh, yeah, that's sweet. I like that.
I just love things from the 2000s and the 90s, and it just takes me right back.
No, that's sweet. I like that. And I agree with you. The smell of Play-Doh is very nostalgic. You just like, just reminds you of like simpler times, just sitting at the table, just making snakes.
Yeah.
It's good.
I used to like I used to, yeah, sorry. Like I used to look at those images, like the pictures on the Play-Doh sets of like things you could potentially build, and there'd be all these like really cool like houses and stuff that obviously you were never going to end up making, or even like making anything even remotely close to what was advertised on the Play-Doh sets. But I remember that being a big draw for me, was I can make that. I used to be like really easily swayed as a kid by like, I mean, as I'm sure all children are, but like picture like advertising and pictures of things you could potentially do with whatever toy you would buy. Like, oh, you're getting this water gun, like you can like, shoot stars that destroy the moon with this thing. Like, I'd probably believe that. but yeah.
Yeah, and then inevitably you just like make a little slime, which that just me.
Literally.
Little blob creature. I was like, that's cute, that'll do. Or you'd like use Play-Doh with a friend, and then one of your friends would like merge the colors together. So rather than having all these lovely colors, you just have kind of like sludge color, and then you're just sad. Yeah,
Sad but true.
The friends that ruined the Play-Doh. There was always one, wasn't there? There was always someone else just like, oh, I'm just smush these together. I'm like, no, what are you doing?
Yeah.
This is for making a thing. Okay.
Definitely brings back some memories.
I'm going to pivot a little bit here. If you broke a limb and I contacted your family to let them know, what would be their response, and how would they assume that you'd done it?
Okay, hell of a question. Big concern, because I'm not someone who goes outside of my front door very often. So they'd have to wonder how the heck that even happened. Like, well, depending on the injury and what the heck even happened in the first place, like, I think there would definitely be a slew of questions. It would end up being a game of like, not 20 questions, but 30 to 40 or 50 questions about what the heck even happened. Because my house is like designed in such a way that it, like, you would have to try and break any of your limbs in my house. I'll put it that way.
See?
So yeah, put two and two together. I'm not someone who leaves the house very often. I might even like admittedly forget how to use my doorknob from time to time. And the fact that I live in a house where that's not conducive to breaking limbs, I think my parents or relatives or whoever would first ask questions and then be concerned. Ask questions first, be concerned later.
would they have any way that they assumed you'd done it, like tangled in the bed sheets and just face planted the floor or something? Or would they just be like, that doesn't make any sense at all? It doesn't leave the house. How?
Them knowing me, probably like playing too many video games, playing video games for too long. My wrist fell off my hand. Something like that.
Went too hard in Elden Ring, snapped my elbow.
Something like that. Or probably Marvel Rivals as of late. Like I'm still waiting on a lovely dude in my community who's very kindly offered to make me a wrist brace with all the knitting he does.
Ooh. Oh, that's nice. That's sweet. I love that.
I think I need that.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you look after your wrists, because it's very easy to like just make them incredibly sore.
As I like to say, every time I get really locked into a game, I'm just speedrunning carpal tunnel syndrome.
Pain.
That's me whenever I get super zoned in.
Getting all the pains.
Literally.
All right, if you had to create a new holiday, what would it be about, and how would people celebrate?
A new holiday.
Yeah, for absolutely anything at all. Even like, left shoe day, and everybody has to wear only the left shoe. I don't know. Anything at all.
I mean, I'm sure it already exists. It's such a boring answer, but like a gaming day. Because everyone gets to stay home and play video games. Which, I mean, that's just a regular weekend.
That would be nice. But if it's a government mandated holiday where everybody must play games.
No, I don't know about now that I say that, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think I'd have to add, like, I would need to probably clear up what I mean by that a little more, for sure. because being forced to do anything, including playing video games, that's a little bit sus. That's a bit weird. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, what happens if you don't play? Like, okay, like how deep are we talking with this? Like, okay, so you're forced to play a game. So what does that entail? Like, is it like anytime your hand even remotely leaves the vicinity of your keyboard, even the keyboard itself, like you're faced with jail time?
I mean, I
Like, how
don't.
cruel are we being with this?
I mean,
Like,
I've never known a holiday where if you don't celebrate it, you go to jail. I mean, it certainly doesn't work here. You don't celebrate Christmas, jail.
yeah, I think I just went like a little too extreme with that. I'm just trying to think of ways to like make this like different from your average run-of-the-mill day off work or holiday where you can just play games anyway. What would that even look like? Is it technically like, I mean, you'd probably have gaming day to like celebrate the legacy of games. I'm sure that even exists. It's just that, you know, people obviously don't talk about it because it's not a big deal to everyone. But if gaming day existed in the way that we would like it to, what would that even look like? Where, you know, it's not just a regular holiday where you celebrate games and also just don't go to work, which is already kind of a thing for a lot of people. What would make that more special? What would you celebrate? What would you do? What would everyone do? Like how on Christmas Day, like you have your tree. On gaming day is like, what would that look like? On top of just, I don't know, playing video games and having a good time.
You have like a tree, but it's made up of retro consoles, and you get out your retro console tree, drape lights over it.
That. I like that. I think like companies should start marketing trees that just have all the retro systems on them, and therefore you can like just celebrate the entire legacy of video games, the entire history. I buy that in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah. Just a big old retro console tree. Yeah, sign me up.
I'll play everything.
With just like an old CRTV screen in the middle of it, with like a pyramid of consoles around it. Do you know what? I feel like we're making an idea here. We're onto something.
So. I think we're cooking here. Yeah, for sure.
Sounds like a plan. Sign me up. What day are we celebrating this?
We start as early as tomorrow. I mean, the earlier the better. Something like Gaming Day, you get to play all the consoles that have ever existed in the timeline of gaming. I mean, why wouldn't I want that yesterday?
But if we had to have a day to celebrate it, like March 5th or whatever, which is actually tomorrow. There you go.
The selfish soul in me wants to say June 16th, which is my birthday, but I already have so many cool things, gaming adjacent things that happen on my birthday. Like E3 used to happen on my birthday. The frickin' Final Fantasy VII remake got announced on my birthday. The Rebirth got announced. Like all the stuff I love and care about that has to do with gaming typically takes place on my birthday. So I'm gonna say not my birthday because I got too many things on my birthday. Okay, it's not all about me. So let's say whenever your birthday is, or whatever other awesome any other like all the other awesome folks in this community, whenever your birthdays are, whatever days they are.
So every day is gaming day.
We'll put it in like a little a spinning wheel and decide that way.
So my birthday happens to be the day that schools go back. So my birthday is the 5th of September, and always, every year, without fail, the 5th of September would be the day that you'd start back the first day of school. So my birthday was always, hi, yep, happy birthday to me.
I like that. So what you're saying is you're going to save kids from going to school.
Yeah.
Because the gaming day is going to be on your birthday.
And it'll become an international holiday.
Let's go. So no one has to go to school on the day they typically have to go back to school.
Yeah, they just have to go back the day after, so it sucks to be everyone else, I guess. But
where was this holiday when I needed it when I was going to school?
I mean, it's just British schools. I don't know if everywhere else goes back roughly on the 5th of September or earlier, but in England, it's like 5th of September tends to be the start date for school. Occasionally the 4th, but I'm also with that.
It's like that here too. I can't remember if it's August or September here in Canada, but I want to say September. Yeah. It's around the same time here too.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've been out of school for a long time now because old. But, like, I remember because every year, happy birthday to me. Off to school I go.
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Interesting. It's definitely one of the gifts of all time. Maybe not one of the best gifts of all time. One of the gifts of all time. Going back to school on your birthday.
It's something. Alright, if you had 3 wishes, and they had to be selfish and not for others, what would you wish for and why?
So selfish wishes and
Selfish
3 they're
wishes.
not for others.
Yeah, not for others. They don't benefit others unless, like, kind of by proxy. They're not kind of like world peace and world hunger. You know, that it's like, I want a big fat burger. So I don't know, something like that.
Oh, man. Okay. Good question. I don't know. That's such a good question. I like. Well, let's go with 3 different. Oh my god, I'm so lame. I always bring things back to video games.
Nothing lame about that.
But okay, any 3 games I'm like really excited for and looking forward to. Like let's. I mean, it's selfless though. It is selfless. I'm like, let's prepone them. Whatever date they come out, let's get them come out now. And like, even though that could be seen as a bad thing, like, oh, like pushing out a game early, and you know, developers need more time and everything to perfect the game and make it as like the best version, like make the big game as best as it could possibly be. Let's assume like there's some magic. Well, I mean, their wishes and they can come true. The wish is for the most perfect state of the game, for it to come out now. And and this is the part where I can make it selfish. Only I get the game. It's in the palm of my hands. There's only one copy, and it's a golden copy, and it's a physical copy, and the trims on the box are golden. And you open the game, and Stardust flies out, and only I have that copy. And it's for the whatever 3 games happen to be the ones that I'm like the most hyped for in like the next couple of years. Let's go with that.
I like that.
One
no
wish for each
patches
game.
needed. No.
Or maybe, or even better, like not the next 3 games, but I get to make these wishes at any point in my lifetime for games that I am exceptionally hyped for, that I know are going to be coming out at some point, or even games that may not be coming out that I would love for them to come out. Like a Final Fantasy IX remake or something. Like,
that'd be so good.
Apparently it's in the works, but we don't know yet. But hey, if I had a wish and I could make it get here now in my perfect ideal version of it, hell yeah, sign me up.
Only for you, so everyone else would just think it's a fever dream. It's like,
only for me. And then,
I heard about this thing.
and then that way, oh my god, I'm a content creator, right? I'm trying to make it, like, obviously, because that's why people make content, right? No, I'm kidding. But then, like, let's not stop there. I'm gonna stream that game, or I'll play that game and be like, y'all are seeing footage of a game that you didn't know was about to exist, and only I can provide that footage.
The developers are just confused, like
the developers are confused AF. Like it's just my perfect ideal game that's spawned into existence. Nobody even made it, and they see their names like popping up in the opening credits. Like what? Like we didn't have anything to do with that. Like Tetsuya Nomura, that guy retired. Like
that's a fun wish. I like that.
I would go with that. I'm just coming up with this on the spot, but
you know that's good. I like that. I like that a lot.
I'll take that.
yeah. No, that's fun. No DLC or all DLC included forever. No day 1 patches. No performance issues. It just is perfect.
Yep. No microtransactions. Nothing. No.
Oh, living the dream.
Yeah.
All the stealth DLC.
Blood. None of that.
None of it. It's all there.
Everything day 1. And hey, like, okay, maybe there'll be DLC, but it unlocks after you finish the game, and it's free, because I remember the last time that was the case. Well, you didn't get it right after you finished the game, but the developers gave us free DLC, and it was for God of War Ragnarok, and it came out a year after. and it's the only DLC I've ever played in my life, or just anything I've ever experienced in my life that made me go, I would have paid money to play that. How is this free? And I remember the feeling I got from that. So because I like feeling good things, and that was a really good thing to feel, I would like, to hell with it. Let's throw that into the wish as well. Like there will be DLC, but it's free and you get to experience it right after, because that would just feel amazing. It'll make you go, why am I getting to experience this for free? I love that this exists, and this is the nicest thing I have ever seen.
No, that's fun. I like. If only that was the benchmark.
Literally.
All right, if you could give the power of speech to an inanimate object, what object would you pick and why?
The power of speech to an inanimate object. Thinking music.
Yeah?
I'm looking at my table off camera while thinking music plays in my head, because there are a bunch of objects on it. Obviously inanimate objects, because that's what you typically put on your table. Okay. The question was, what would I give a voice to, right?
Yeah.
Probably my coffee mug. let's circle this back all the way. Let's bring this full circle. Probably my coffee mug, so that anytime I tried to take a sip of coffee, it would just give me the most emotional, heartfelt, heart to heart that touches my soul and makes me tear up about how what I'm about to do is one of the worst things for myself to help with my crippling addiction to caffeine and coffee. So I feel horrible every time I try and take a sip of that.
I mean, that's less cursed than it could have been, because could you just imagine your cup that every time you put your mouth on it, it just like, it's like, yeah, drink from me, baby, or something like. I can't think of anything that would. Like, I don't know.
Even Jay in my chat right now said something to that effect. Like literally, it could be like so much different. Like literally in sus land, like sus territory. But yeah, let's go the opposite way. Let's go wholesome yet really like melancholy territory, where it speaks to you and your heart and tells you all the things that you need to hear about yourself, why you're important, why you have value, why you should consider yourself to be your best friend, why you should consider yourself to be worthy of love. And then like tell you like all the stuff that people would normally tell you when giving you a hard time about how you could be going about your life going forward. And all because I tried to take a sip of coffee, which I don't like. It's bad. I should be drinking as much coffee as I do.
Wow, you'd have to be really careful not to drop that mug. Oh my god, the deep philosophical mug. You accidentally knock it off the table.
The deep philosophical mug, exactly. I gotta be really careful.
You accidentally knock that off the side, and it just screams in pain. Why?
And now I'm thinking of that Cuphead game. All of a sudden, I don't know if you ever played Cuphead, but the two little teacups, Cuphead and his brother Mugman. It's a really charming indie game, like that has this retro art style and aesthetic that kind of goes back to, like 30s and 40s, like Technicolor animations and movies and stuff. And it's all hand drawn. It's like a really beautiful aesthetic. Every single frame is hand drawn, and it's notoriously difficult, like really tough bosses and enemies and stuff. But it's super cute. Like the two characters you play as, it's a co-op game. There's Cuphead and his brother Mugman. Now I'm starting to think of Mugman all of a sudden. For what it's worth, just putting that out there. Very, very wholesome character. So, you know what? I would love it if my mug was like Mugman. I don't know much about the guy, but he fights some of the most terrifying, ferocious beasts in that game with a big old smile on his face. So I'm assuming he's a nice dude.
Or just really has like a lot of bloodlust. Fights terrifying
Hopefully
things
not
with
that.
grinning. The mug with bloodlust, but it can't act on
He
it.
shoots bullets from his finger. That's how him and his brother operate. That's their MO. They like shoot tiny bullets with they point their finger and shoot bullets out of them with a big old grin on their face.
All right, I'm gonna go into some would you rather's now. So it's like just pick which you all prefer.
Okay.
So, would you rather have to high five everyone you meet or blow a kiss to everyone you walk past?
Probably high five everyone I meet.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like that. I like high fiving.
Yeah.
I think high fives are wholesome.
It's
Blowing
nice.
a kiss, I don't know about that. I think that could get me in trouble.
Well, it's not
Depending
like...
on who I blow it to. I can't remember the last time giving someone a high five got him in trouble.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm trying to think. Has there ever been a situation where like high fiving someone could be a problem? Unless you like accidentally don't high five someone and punch them in the face by
literally that's why I'm laughing. Like my mind immediately went to like, okay, let's say you miss, you totally whiff that and like smack him on the side of the head. Now like, well, I got pulled over a couple years ago by a cop, and the question was high five everyone. So I mean, he counts as someone, so as a part of everyone. I got pulled over because there were a bunch of cars that were the same as the one I had getting stolen in my area. So the guy at 4 a.m. pulls me over just to make sure that I own my vehicle and everything. I would not have wanted to miss a high five with that guy. In fact, I don't even know if he would have been in the mood for a high five in the first place. But if he was for whatever reason, God forbid I miss and smack him on the side of the head. Or like even worse, just maybe in this scenario you're describing, I'm the one who initiates the high five and don't even give them time to put their hands up, and I immediately go for the high five and they don't even see it coming. And that's even worse. For a police officer, like just slap him across the noggin. I don't know about that. Yeah, now I'm starting to maybe consider the other option, but no, I'm still gonna go with high fiving everyone.
Yeah, do you know what? I still think like high fiving and accidentally slapping a police officer in the face would probably do you better than being pulled over and blowing the police officer a kiss.
Or as Jay just said in my chat, kid with no arms. Oh God, that's even worse. Assuming I'm the one who starts it and I just can't stop myself, and that's how this whole thing works. Like I always I have no control over my hand in that situation, and always has to go for the high five.
Yep.
I don't want to slap a kid with no arms. No thanks.
Like, you know, just a baby that can't respond. You just slapped a baby in the face.
Oh my God. Okay, I think we found the worst possible scenario.
You just have to like just not go near people. Don't go anywhere where there's not gonna be.
Nope. Hey, I'm already pretty good at that. So
Hermit life for the win.
Hell yeah.
Okay, would you rather have to wear roller skates everywhere or have to walk backwards for everywhere you go?
Roller skates everywhere, walk backwards. Probably roller skates. Walking backwards sounds terrifying. I've tried that a couple times, even like in directions that I know what they lead to. In my own house, for example. And I always feel so uncomfortable doing it for some reason. Like I feel like I'm just gonna fall off a ledge or bump into a wall with spikes or something, even though I know exactly what's behind me. There's something so like terrifying about that. I don't know. I may even have a phobia. Maybe I'm just describing a phobia I never realized I had. Yeah, I'm identifying it right now.
No,
but yeah, I have a weird irrational fear of just walking backwards.
No, that's understandable. I as someone that's very clumsy, both of those are bad to me. I'm just thinking of navigating stairs on roller skates. But I guess you just sit on your butt to go down. That would be the way.
That could pose an interesting problem. For sure, because I do have stairs in my house. That's the only way I can go downstairs and leave my house, because I'm on the upper floor. And if I only move around with roller skates, well, on the bright side, like, once again, I don't really leave my house. And number two, I feel like I can learn a pretty cool trick or two for getting down the stairs. I don't know what the trick will be, but I think that would be pretty cool to show off. And since, I'm a content creator, right? And I gotta make all the things for the views and the clicks, right? I gotta I can make a cool TikTok out of that and post that and it goes viral and I become like the next PewDiePie or whatever, like the next Kai Cenat, whoever like the biggest streamer is at the moment.
Watch me trick down the stairs into the bathroom.
Yeah.
Whee!
Hell yeah. I'm just thinking of a glass half full scenario here. I'm trying to be a glass half full kind of guy.
No, I'm I understand that entirely. Okay, like less dangerous, I guess. Would you always have to wear socks on your hands, or always have to wear gloves on your feet? Or would you rather not? Would you like? Which would you prefer?
Socks on hands or gloves on feet? Probably gloves on feet. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even like wearing mittens and gloves on my hands for some reason. It's always uncomfortable, and you just can't get a lot of things done. Ironically, even though like there's certain things you definitely want to do while wearing like protection on your hands, but in the winter especially, there's so many gloves that just aren't designed to be used with like touch screens and stuff on your phone, and it, can't do anything without your phone, which phones have touch screens and the gloves can't do anything on the touch screens. So I am not a gloves or mittens or any kind of hand thing person. So probably, yeah, I mean, I wear socks on my feet all the time, so I wouldn't see any problem with wearing gloves on my feet. This has got to feel a little bit different, but I'll probably get used to it.
I'm more just thinking like gloves like aren't as long as feet, so the glove would only go like halfway up your foot, so it always feel like you have a sock falling off and really dangly toe bits.
Yeah, I can always do a little modifying.
That is true.
I got a pretty cool tailor who lives down the street from me. I could go hit him up for something or another. He could probably whip something cool up for me.
As you roller skate into the room. Just be like,
I'd probably roller skate into there and I'd be like, hey, I got these gloves. Can you repurpose them for my feet? And he'd probably, because he's a cool guy, he'd probably be like, yeah, I can do that and more. I can make him so that it'll make your, I don't know, roller skating skills better by tenfold.
Wow, you need to hit me up with this tailor.
We'll do. Once I have all this stuff figured out, I'll definitely send you a picture of his invention of this new stuff that I'm revolutionizing. And then yeah, we'll go from there.
Maybe that's what the real thing is. Like anyone that actually roller skates professionally, they really just wear gloves on their feet, and it's like an industry secret, and we've just cracked it.
I think so. I think we just did.
Okay, would you rather have a glow-in-the-dark skin or a permanent voice echo?
Glow-in-the-dark skin or permanent voice echo? Okay, that one is so easy. Glow-in-the-dark skin. Because then I basically look like someone with a superpower. Echoing voice, I'm speaking on a mic right now. I have been, I stream, I do streaming, I like speaking into microphone. And the last thing I want is something weird to be happening with my audio quality. If I'm echoing all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Like everything you do just echoes.
I think I would be miserable because I would never be able to stream ever again the same way that I do.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to hide it.
Losing their ability to do what they need to do with the body part that has carried them places with the sport that they're in.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And also glow in the dark adds a little extra spice,
It's kind of badass. I'm not gonna lie.
You can
maybe a little terrifying too, but I'd feel cool about it. I'd be like, I got superpowers. That would be so cool the way you reveal it too. Like the way my lights turn off in my room is that they slowly dim, right? And the way I could reveal that could be so dramatic. I'd be like, want to see something cool, and I like press the button, and the lights slowly dim, and my skin slowly starts to like glow up. That could be kind of sick.
What color glow would you pick then?
What color glow would I pick? I don't know why my mind immediately goes to like green neon, even though I wouldn't want it to be that.
I think that's just like the default. Whenever I think glow in the dark, I just think of those like stars that stick on the ceiling.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably. Let's go with that. Sure.
Yeah.
You can't really go wrong with any color. I feel like, unless it's like, I don't know, like black. I mean, then you're kind of just screwed because you're just blending in with the darkness. That's no glow.
Would you glow like a black light so you could see? I actually don't know what black lights make you see body fluids. So.
Oh dear. Okay. Now that's interesting, because then not only do I have a superpower, I can provide value with my superpower. I start getting all this dirt on people, and like I could be like some kind of a weird like anti-hero. Like, this is the most useless superpower to have, and I don't even know if that's like you'd consider that providing value to people with that superpower, just being able to see all sorts of fluids of every kind and every caliber, and in every room you walk into and turn the lights off.
I would hate that so much.
That would be a little bit cursed for sure.
I think
for all parties.
Never go to someone's house again.
I don't think I would either.
It's like, I'm intensely unhappy. Goodbye.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get the bag, though. I might offer my services on like Fiverr or something, or wherever cool kids these days offer their services, and be like, oh hey, you hate your ex, well I can get some dirt on her for you or something. I don't know.
I can go stand in her living room and you can
witness. Living room with the lights off.
It's much less creepy than it sounds out of context.
Very important to add that bit. There are things I can see that you can't.
I feel like you'd probably have to find somewhere quite specialist to advertise those services. Otherwise, you're going to get like hit up for all sorts of weird scenarios that you don't want to be in.
I think so. I definitely concur with that.
Like, probably offer your services to like the police or detective departments first, and then go from there. Then you can freelance after you got a couple of years of detective blacklight glow work.
You know what? Now I kind of regret my mind not going there in the first place. Yeah, day, however many days it's been of me realizing my brain is just scuffed. Because that would be the best use of that superpower, is helping a forensics team or something.
It's like, bring in the glow stick, because that'd be like your code name.
Yeah.
You walk in with your sentient coffee cup. I love that
already.
What, you roll in, with your sentient coffee cup, light up the room.
The coffee cup's my sidekick. Yeah. Superhero sidekick. Dang. This whole podcast has made me kind of realize what kind of a superhero I would be. And I kind of love that.
I'm glad that I have served your superhero awakening.
As you should be. You should be proud.
I only have a couple more questions for you, so I'm getting done with the juicing. We've got some interesting juice here. I'm just going to keep juicing you a little bit more. Would you rather communicate everything via interpretive dance or elaborate song?
Interpretive dance or elaborate song?
Yeah. You can no longer speak normally. You must either interpretative dance or Disney song, like
Probably elaborate song. I mean, there's a whole lot of situations where that could go wrong and I could make a fool of myself, but I enjoy the occasional, impressions and putting on voices and all that sort of stuff. I even took up voice acting as a hobby, and auditioned for a bunch of like roles here and there just for funsies. Took a couple of lessons. I just love messing around with voice, and also just playing games on stream that involve me reading dialogue boxes from time to time, like non-voiced games. it's just fun to sometimes do voices when I'm in the mood for it and go from there. So I probably go with voices, even if there are times when, yeah, they're very clearly like pitches I'm trying to hit and notes I'm trying to hit that I can't. With, I think you said it was singing, right? Yeah. If I'm trying to sing, um, the fact that I can mess around with my voice and just have fun with it, that's cool. Dancing is a big like no, I can't even. First of all, like, okay, you don't want to see me dancing because I don't even know if I want to see me dancing. Let's start there.
Dance
Second
like
of
nobody's
all,
watching.
you gotta like flow like water when you're dancing. You gotta be flexible for that. If I bend my knees beyond 90 degrees, I get excruciating pain. I'll just put that out there. And that doesn't sound normal. I should probably get that checked out at some
Probably,
point.
yeah.
I probably should. So let's not go with dancing.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I got to do everything in the style of the FF6 opera, as Kill put it in my chat. I'd be cool with that.
That would be pretty fun. I can't imagine like your family just sometimes, you know, you have everyone around for dinner, big family gathering, and you're just like, pass the potatoes. They're just like, oh my god.
It would be a little cringe with a capital C, but I don't know. I think that would pale in comparison to the insurmountable levels of cringe if you were to just me at least. Okay, no disrespect to anyone out there who loves dancing and loves busting out their moves and hell might even be good at that stuff, but you wouldn't want to see me anywhere near that territory at a scenario like that.
I'm not just kind of, how would you ask for passing the potatoes with like interpretive dance? I didn't even know how you would.
Yeah. Like my mind didn't even get to that part. I'm still fixated on me moving my body parts around. No, thanks. I'm okay. me and movement do not jive in the same sentence.
No, that's fair. Like singing everywhere, you can just become the next Disney princess.
Sure. Yeah, I won't say no to that.
Yeah, I'll take it. Maybe
Hell
you could
yeah.
summon the local like wildlife to come and like do your chores for you while you're at it too.
Then that could be another superpower. I'm like a beast master of sorts. I could just summon all the deer and my local coyotes. They've got a bunch of coyotes running around rampant where I live.
I mean,
Maybe that's not such a great idea because I have a tiny pug and coyotes don't jive well with tiny animals.
yeah, probably don't do that one. Then just keep the door shut when the animals are around.
I think I will.
Maybe just stick with birds. Birds are like relatively safe.
Birds are cool.
Unless
Birds
you
are
get
pretty
like,
cool.
I don't know if you get any.
Definitely will never do this if I ever go back to India though, where I'm from originally, because this is gonna sound really embarrassing, but house geckos are super common there. And for whatever reason, and I hate this about myself, I don't know why, I don't know how, I grew up with a crippling phobia of lizards and geckos and just reptiles in general. They really give me the heebie-jeebies. So anytime I used to enter a room in the house that I lived in for many years there, I would always have to like check the corners, like I was part of a SEAL team or something like that, like breaching into a room to make sure that there's no lizards anywhere. I would look behind everything and look around the corners, behind the doors. And so I think if I had that power to summon animals with the power of song and my voice, that I don't think I'd want to ever go back to India ever again, which would be a shame because I got a lot of family there, so I got to visit them from time to time.
You just have to make sure you don't sing the lizard summoning songs.
Yeah, or just take a vow of silence, you know?
Yeah, that would work too.
I think so. I think, the last time I checked, my relatives are cool. They're just happy to have me in their company, voice or no voice.
Yeah, no, exactly. It'd be fine. You can just like you can write. You can just write to them. Just
Yeah, I can do that.
laryngitis. Don't talk on the plane
Yeah.
there either, because what happens? You summon birds to the plane and they're just like slamming themselves into the windows trying to get to you.
God.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah. think I saw a movie where that was literally the plot, and that's based on a true story too, where the bird went into, it's called Sully. The bird goes into like a turbine, or I think it was like the windshield in front or something, that it was just one or two different birds. And that whole thing disrupted everything, and they had to like land it on a river. It was crazy in like the middle of a densely populated city. So yeah, let's maybe not you know, say a couple words or any words if we're going on a plane or something.
Yeah, so
in transit.
yeah, absolutely no words can come from your mouth as soon as you have started
At
taking
all.
flight.
Nope.
Just a vow of silence.
I think that's the way to go.
I mean, honestly, that's probably easier as well than having to like, if you know the oh God, the person on the plane that offers like drinks, and like they come and say, hey, would you like a Pepsi, and you like bust out some moves in your seat, like you know, you can just nod.
I think despite me not wanting to do any sort of dancing, I'm probably going to be forced to if I don't want to take the plane down. Last time I checked, I care about the lives of other people.
Last time you checked,
bad to happen. I think if like with all this talk of superhero stuff, if I were to like, if something were to happen there, if I were to accidentally say a couple words here and there and summon all these birds, I think I would be starting my supervillain arc.
And that was the day.
That was the day. It just takes one bad day.
Would you rather have to only eat everything cold or only eat everything slightly burnt?
I feel like this question has a really obvious answer, but I'm going to think a little bit anyway. Either everything cold or everything slightly burnt. I'm going to go with cold. I actually am one of those, and this can actually circle back to a question you asked a while ago about any weird, quirky things that I like that other people usually don't like milk before cereal, for example. That's one of the things that I kind of don't mind at all, like just having really anything cold. I think there are more things worth having that are cold that usually you would have that are hot than there are things that you could have hot. So I'd probably go with cold for sure.
Yeah, honestly, like same. Like
I'm one of those, yeah. And I'm also one of those weird people who just doesn't like reheating pizza. I really don't like the taste of it, like putting pizza back in a microwave. And I know that might sound blasphemous, but I just like eating cold pizza.
Cold pizza straight out of the fridge. Like don't even get a plate, man. Just at the fridge, open the door, pick it up, shove it in your face. I am there with you.
It slaps. It's actually amazing. Like I see my mom reheating pizza sometimes out of the fridge, and I just gave her a look. I'm like, oh, you're missing out.
Yeah. Mr. Moose doesn't like cold pizza. In fact, he doesn't like cold food. He would take everything burnt with it. Like the idea of cold food to him is absolute travesty. So like he likes his food nuclear, you know. So like I can't even touch it, and he's like just pouring it in his face. So cold pizza to him he hates, and I'm like, you're missing out. Like I finished my pizza before his is even warm. I'm like
yeah, maybe the only limit will be frozen pizza, like Jay in my chat saying have frozen pizza, don't recommend doing that.
Yeah, well, no, you can cook it, but it has to be cold by the time you eat it. So you just go like cook it, and then the second you take it out of the oven, it's just cold again. It's cooked. It's just cold.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm asking you to like just go eat a raw animal or something.
Yeah, let's go with cold, but not raw.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so the last things I have 4 more things for you, and these are: which of these questionably useful superpowers would you prefer and why? And I say questionably useful because, yeah. So, would you
Relevant question.
Yeah. Would you prefer to have perfect toast vision, so you always know when a piece of toast will be cooked to absolute perfection, but you can't use a toaster, so you have to see other people making toast? Or would you like to have a glowing finger that activates in the dark so you can always see, but the finger that glows is random?
Glowing that you can always see, but the finger is random. And wait a minute, did you like plan this question before we even talk? Oh wait, well, I mean, actually, I'm silly. I didn't bring
Yeah,
up the
yeah.
glow in the dark thing. That was already a question you asked about glowing in the dark before. Okay,
Yeah,
scratch
yeah, so
that.
it's-
My
it's-
brain's being weird.
So it's like, would you prefer perfect
I
toast or one glowing finger? Not the rest of you glowing, just one, like ET, like ET glowing fingertip, or you can always tell when there is perfect toast.
probably the glowing finger, I think. Again, I know
Yeah.
I'm a little bit too obsessed with glowing in the dark. I think that's just kind of freaking badass.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, toast is good, but like an
And the
ET
thing about
glowing finger.
the thing about toast is again, like this is actually kind of hilarious because just talking about this stuff is giving me answers, like way better answers to the question you asked eons ago about weird, quirky things. I'm one of those people who just doesn't care if I toast my bread or not. I like sometimes I'll just take like a plain old slice of whole wheat bread and just stuff that in my mouth. I'm like, that's good. Got my carbs for the day. Let's go.
I mean, that's just a sandwich at that point.
Yeah, literally. Like, and it's more so the fact that it's at like breakfast time. You know, the morning you want to have something that and you would typically have something that is what people typically have. So you take bread, you would put that in the toaster, and you would toast it to a decent amount, and then you would have it toasted and maybe put some butter on it. But I just skip that whole process. I'm like, nah, I want my food now. I should add that I wouldn't even call myself a cook. I am the laziest not cook, whatever word you would put there, whatever adjective you would put there, of all time. I literally, when I make eggs, I do the most, like the laziest, like half-hearted eggs of all time. I'll crack them, put them in a bowl, put the bowl into the microwave, mix it up for a couple seconds, put it in for another 30 seconds, mix it up again, and then I have scrambled eggs, and then I'll put those scrambled eggs on a little slice of untoasted bread and shove that in my face. And I'm like, that's good. Got my carbs, like I said before, but now I also got a little bit of protein.
Yeah,
all right,
well.
I feel great.
Speed eggs on toast without the toast.
And I'm not saying this because I think it's cool to clarify. Mondo respect to the normal people of the world who put eggs into a pan and make something. Make fried, make omelets, make something that is cool and good. And what I do is not cool and good. Don't do what I do. Don't be like me.
I'll come make you some good scrambled eggs one day.
I will not say no.
Goes in a pan with some butter, some milk, some salt, some pepper. Serve it with some avocado. It's good.
I will say that the scrambled eggs that I like, the poor man scrambled eggs, if you like want to put it that way, that I make, actually don't turn out all that bad. Like they're kind of halfway decent, and I'm like, I get why people put effort into making proper eggs, and I get why people put effort into things in general. But these aren't actually terrible. I don't see the problem with doing this more often. And so I just do it all the time, pretty much.
Honestly, I have tried eggs that way. Just like an egg in a bowl, whip it,
Yeah.
microwave it for 30 seconds, whip it. I've done that. Easy. It's fine. Honestly, it's not terrible. It's egg.
Yeah, the first time I did it, I was like, what? Like, how is it this good? And how is it this easy? Because I'm one of those people who's always looking for shortcuts when it comes to making food. I'm like, okay, I see all these instructions. I'm looking at all these like steps in this video tutorial, whatever. Is there an alternative way I can just do this in my microwave? Just put it in there, type in a little number, press the start button, go do something else, go maybe touch grass like I should be doing more often, and then come back and take it out of the microwave and then just enjoy it and not have to do anything else, because doing things is kind of cringe. And I go from there.
Gross. Doing things.
Yeah, imagine just doing things.
Going outside. People. Ugh.
Tell me about it.
All right. which of these, like, again, questionable superpower. So you will always get the answer wrong the first time if the question is a 50-50 answer, or you can have super slow-mo blinking. So all blinks are like super slow motion dramatic blink, or every single time you're given a 50-50 answer, you will get it wrong.
I'm definitely going to go with the first one, the 50-50 one, simply on the basis of I already look like the most tired and disinterested person of all time with the worst resting face. The worst female dog resting face, as some people would put it. That I cannot in good faith choose that one of like slow-mo blinking and like compound that problem. I would definitely have to go with the 50-50 one. And I sincerely apologize. I didn't fully even process what that option was. But because it's anything but the slow-mo blinking, because as soon as you said slow-mo blinking, I immediately knew what the answer was going to be. If anything but that, I'm going to have to go with that.
Okay. No, that's fair. So what you've chosen then is like, if there's ever a 50-50 chance, so you will always pick the wrong choice the first time round. So...
Yeah, I have pretty bad luck anyway most of the time, I would say. Nothing would be too different there.
I mean, you could like scam game shows, you know, when it comes down to like, you need to pick the winning choice, and you know, if either of you picks this box, then the other person will win. You just need to pick the box that will mean you win. So you could scam that skill somehow, probably.
That's actually kind of true, yeah. Yeah, all the more reason to go with that one.
Yeah. Sorted. All right. Would you rather be, or not would you rather, would you rather have the ability to summon a singular insect of your choice on command, or teleport 1 inch forwards at a time?
Ooh. Wait, teleport 1 inch forward.
Yep. So, like, you've moved, but you barely notice it.
Or summon an insect. God, this should be so much easier. The issue is, I would select insect in a heartbeat, because once again, I'm doing all this on the basis of like what would look really cool. What can I do that could make me go, look at what I can do? That, you know, that's what I base my answer about glowing in the dark on. You know, so
praying mantis.
Yeah, but then there's the problem of me just being terrified of every little critter that exists. Oh yeah, I should have added that I'm not just afraid of lizards. I'm just afraid of like every little tiny insect, every tiny little critter.
Oh, that's like the worst skill for you then.
Do I really want to be summoning these little dudes? Like, I don't know about that. I'm struggling to think if there are any of them I really like or would like to. I hate this. I gotta bring this up. I thought for the longest time that, okay, I may not be a fan of all these tiny little dudes, but ladybirds, ladybugs, they're the sweetest, most gentle things on God's green earth. They even look so pretty, and I love everything about them. And then, of course, I learned the hard way that they can actually maybe not bite, but really hurt. Because apparently when they feel threatened, I think they pee on you, and that pee really stings or hurts or something like that. I think that's what might have happened to me. So yeah, everything I said about them, I sort of low-key feel the opposite way now. So not even ladybirds, the chosen ones for me. Oh man. So I don't know, like really, if there's any tiny critter that I would want to summon. So I'm probably gonna have to go with teleporting. I feel like I really hope I'm misremembering. I feel like I've maybe even had a bad experience with a butterfly before. Can butterflies bite? Can they? I gotta know, like, actually if they can.
They've got a like a really long tongue that they slurp things with.
Maybe it was a different flying insect then that landed on me, and I felt a little something that I didn't want to feel. That was not comfortable. Like I've had like the worst luck with that happening. Like, my grandma's house had this this little area, this little garden where you would go down on these stairs. I mean, I used to love playing there. And little did I know that, so this whole place was like enshrouded with like trees hanging above. And little did I know that there were these orange fire ants hanging on those. Like they were just crawling all over those above me, all above like the foliage of the shrubbery and all of that. And I learned once again the hard way that even ants can be deadly. And that was my introduction to all those terrifying sort of ants, like the orange fire ones and all those. And that area was rife with those. And one fell on my elbow, and I felt the worst possible writhing, seething, like insane pain I've ever felt from anything like that. So my mind immediately goes to that, and I just apply that sort of, like, I'd always imagine that that's the pain you're always going to feel, even though it's factually not with a lot of tiny critters. But when I look at them, I'm like, they're going to do that to me. So I'm probably going to go with teleporting 1 inch forward.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, you could definitely be like, watch me do this. Just like blink and you miss it. So you have to watch really carefully.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could get a little bit of, cool factor out of that and go, hey, look what I can do. And, like record that and play it back in super duper slow-mo. Once I export send the video to myself, then put it in Premiere Pro, which takes a little minute to open on my computer, and then really, really slow it down, assuming I still have a subscription to Adobe, and then send it to a friend. Not a tedious process at all.
Yeah. You'd have to like put like a chalk line on the floor and be like, watch this.
Yeah. It may not seem like much, but I promise, I swear it is. It's something. There's something there. You got to see this. And I send that to them at like 7 a.m. and then they actually get the footage at like 7 in the evening.
And they're just like, go back to sleep.
Yeah, like they see a little Discord notification, they watch it, like, oh, whatever, go back to bed.
They're like, or just like, do you need me to help you with your editing skills?
Yeah. Are you okay, dude?
I can make it look like you move further if you want. All right, my final question, even. So, would you prefer the superpower of being able to fold laundry with your mind, or the ability to turn invisible when no one else is looking?
Fold laundry with your mind, or look invisible, or be invisible when no one's looking. Oh.
Yeah, so you can't prove that you're invisible, because as soon as someone looks...
Oh, man. I love folding my laundry. I hate how long it takes, though, and I hate how bad I am at it. But at the same time, being invisible when no one is looking, I think I would love that, because one of the things that I'm super anxious about all the time is people just looking at me when I'm out in like public and stuff, because I've dealt with social anxiety a whole bunch. And I still deal with it to an extent. So when I'm out and about in public, I'm almost like, oh, people are looking at me, people are judging me. So if I were to go invisible, that would be validation and confirmation to me that truly no one is looking at me, and I can feel super duper 100% comfortable being out in public. It would be such a nice help for social anxiety, that is for sure.
That is true. I'd never even considered that.
But at the same time, oh man, I need my folded laundry. Like, I need my tidy cupboard, my tiny closet. I'd probably go with invisibility, though.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, what if you're in bed, you're invisible, then suddenly you're visible. But why? Who's looking at you?
Yeah.
That would be my concern, when you think you should be invisible, but you're not.
Yeah, that would be kind of terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. I think you could make like a horror movie based on that. That sounds like a cool premise for a horror movie.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be invisible, but I'm not.
And then Kill in my chat is like, but you can't look at yourself, and that would make you visible. Oh gosh, that is a loophole.
You're allowed to look at yourself. Like, with your invisible eyes, you can perceive your invisible self.
Okay, phew. Saved.
Yeah, that bit's allowed, but like if anyone else is looking at you.
Yeah, hopefully that plus getting to be fully invisible even if I'm wearing clothes, because I would rather not go naked in public.
I mean, then people would
sure
look at you.
Legal,
so...
and I'm pretty sure That's not something I'd be willing to do with or without social anxiety.
Like, I think that the problem then becomes, like, I feel like you'd probably have to wear clothes because it'd only be you that's invisible, not your clothes. And that the catch here would come, like, if you go outside naked, so, you know, so you are invisible, but someone happens to look your way and therefore looks at you, then you are visible. And then everyone's gonna see you in all your naked glory and everyone will look at you. But
that would be absolutely terrifying. No, thank you.
But then the alternative is if you go out wearing clothes and no one's looking at you, you're just hovering clothes walking down the
You're
street.
literally, like, hovering clothes.
So people are still gonna look.
Yeah. It's a lose-lose in that regard. But I mean, I'd rather them just, yeah, like that is just a lose-lose.
The donuts would take being unnoticeable by others rather than invisibility. That feels like a nice option.
I think so.
Yeah, just like NPC vibes. That's what I'd like. That's what I kind of give off, honestly. Don't look at me. Don't interact with me. We'll be good.
I vibe with that.
But yeah, that was my last question for you. So I wanted to say thank you for being juiced. I hope the juicing experience was not too bizarre for you.
No, I hope I wasn't too bizarre because my weird self can just go on these like weird tangents, just like going on and coming up with weird answers and stuff. But no, this was very, very fun. I really do appreciate it, and very kind of you for having me on your podcast. And it's a really cool thing you got going here, and I hope you continue to have all the fun in the future episodes and everything.
Oh, thank you. I will just say I have a little parting gift for you. What you have been blended into, I have made an attempt at a pun, an Irra brew. So
a what now? Sorry.
So rather than irritable, it's irritabrew.
Irritabrew. I love that. I love that.
So here is a lovely cup of, well, tea or coffee. Yes, well, this could be your sentient cup.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. I won't say no to that.
Yeah, so there you go. So thank you for coming on today. It's been a pleasure juicing you.
I just saw that on your stream. I love that. Yeah, for context, in my chat on Moose's stream, it's a little mug with my profile picture on it. I would like to say coffee in it, but I think baby steps. Let's associate that with tea. I think that's a good way for me to wean off the caffeine addiction and mentally disassociate with it. I think that's the first step. But no, that's adorable. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. And yeah, this can be your sentient cup. So every time you put your lips on it, it'll be like it'll just give you positive and affirming messages and tell you to stop drinking coffee.
I need that. I love that.
Right, well, thank you very much. I know it's like stupid early in the morning for you now, so I apologize for keeping you up all these hours.
I do think I see some light coming through my blinds. I do. But this is super duper fun. Once again, thank you for having me, and have a great rest of your stream and rest of your day, Moose.
No, thank you.
And yeah, we'll catch you on the flip-flop.
Yeah, good night. Sleep well. Have lovely dreams.
Thank
Don't
you.
caffeinate too much. And thank you very much. And that's it from the Juice Room for today. Thank you so much for listening. I've been your host, Moose, and we have had the delightful Bowentheus the Bone Wizard as our guest. If you enjoyed it, don't forget, like, subscribe, all that other good stuff. And thank you again. Bye-bye.